Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm so excited again today with this message of hope and resilience, and also the best way on how we can apply different wisdom in our daily life in order to become the best versions of ourselves, and of course, live with a true calling of what God wants us to do. And you all know that only God wants us to be His servant, and we are His servant. We are serving people, and we can only serve people when we can be able to successfully understand what it means to live a healthy life and also a life that is full of abundance. And today I'm going to talk about learning how to do reflection and why is reflection is very important. And I'm always so amazed because, guys, I always find every reason to why Bible is very applicable in our lives. I talked about a story on how Israelites had to leave Egypt, and on the way they deceived God and started worshiping their idols. And remember when alone and some Israelites convinced him, to make a calf from their jewelries when Moses had gone to pray. And then when he came, he was like, "What is going on?" And he found that they had made their own god, and they started worshiping that. And that was not something that they were told to do. And for that reason, they forgot about their god that was helping them to escape from Egypt. For the second time, when they reached in Canaan, then they were being led by Joshua, one of the best people, the best kings that they have ever had again. And then there are people called Gibeonites. I have to read this because this is one of the big words that I don't know how to pronounce, but they are called Gibeonites. So when they reached there, God had instructed them to not, be on the side of the people they had found in Canaan, because God knew they were not good people. But again, their servants, like their king, knew exactly how the Israelites were very sharp and smart, so they wanted to take advantage of them, and they wanted to also use them in their war against their enemies. But God had warned the Israelites to not really be deceived and join with the people who are like the inhabitants of the Canaan, because they were new people in Canaan. So when they combined those efforts, and like the kings of inheritance, those who were found in Canaan, knew exactly that Israelites were very smart. So they asked them, and they sent a gift to Joshua and his people. And then they felt like, okay, they are good people, so now we can work with them. For the second time, they had forgotten God that had taken them from Egypt, and they were going to deceive God. They agreed to partner, to make ally with inhabitants they found in Canaan. And then the problem came. So in life, we are always reminded to make reflection of the past. Sometimes a situation comes in our life, it gives us problems, and we forget to trust in God and be on His side, and forget and make the same mistake again. So it's not about the Bible, it's not about our daily life, but the truth is, when a mistake happens, that's okay. A mistake can happen. But this Bible verse is telling us exactly that we don't have to make a mistake again, especially forgetting God. Because what followed to the Israelites was like they immediately failed to control that, and they had to help the inhabitants fight their wars. The wars that were not for Israelites, the wars that were not for the people of Israel, but now had to be fought by Israel because they had made a promise that they were going to help them. This verse is also very important because it tells us that once you have made a promise to the people, whether they are your friends or they are not, you have to prove that you are very integral and you have to fulfill the promise. That's why Joshua had to call his people and join these people, the Gibeonites, so that they would fight the kings who were attacking them. So be mindful about the people that you put in your side. Be mindful about the people that you make friends, because this is also the meaning. The people that you make friends and you give them promises that you're going to be together, you're going to fight together, then you're putting a burden into your life. And when you make it a promise, you swear that you're going to be together, it is very bad to break the promise. So this is giving us a warning. When you are going to make friends, who do we make friends with? And why? And how? How do we test a good friend or not? Those are the things that you should be very serious about. God is always on our side. He's on our side when we make mistakes, but it doesn't mean that we don't face the consequences. That's God. We face the consequences because we are the one that sometimes forget about Him, and then we want to come back to Him when time is over. So you should always be in that position. So this is very important, and you can find this in Joshua chapter 9 and all the way to chapter 10 as well. So it is very important for us, one, to remember God, to make reflection on our past and how everything happened and learn from the mistakes of the past. And then it is very important to keep the promise. When we make a promise, we have to keep it, because it is very serious to break promise and can bring a lot of consequences. And also we don't care whether we promised our enemy or our friend. It's a promise. We have to do it. And then we have to know, who do we make our friends? So is our friends the person that is ready to be with us, support and work together, or not? Because when you promise somebody, then you find they are not your friends, then you still have the responsibility to do what you agreed to do together. That's a big thing. So my dear friend, go and read Joshua 9:10, and you will get a lot more than just what I said. So I wish you many blessings, and thank you so much for following me.